Patrick Mahomes finished QB number 4 last year, 436 completions, 658 attempts, 66.7% completion percentage, 4,558 yards, 35 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 57 rush attempts for 327 on the ground and 2 tutties on the ground. Thoughts on Patrick Mahomes?
I think this is pretty much what to expect, right? Like he's going to finish somewhere in that neighborhood of 1 through 5, and there is a positional break after that, right? Like you have Josh Allen, you have Justin Herbert, you have Patrick Mahomes. Like those guys probably have the safest floors out of anybody. And then it's up for debate, right? Like you can look at a Kyler, you can look at Lamar Jackson because of the rushing upside. You can look a couple different ways, but you know what you're getting in Patrick Mahomes, and you can trust that, right? You know you're getting somewhere between 33 and 38 touchdowns consistently. Like that's not a problem. 43 to 4,600 yards comfortably. He has all these weapons. They're going to throw the ball. Like Andy Reid doesn't love to run the ball, so they're going to chuck it around the yard. If he's your guy, go get your guy.
There is a little concern for me this year because of the lack of continuity in his receiver room, but I think he's able to overcome that. Like that's how good of a player he is. He's able to overcome the question marks that we all had surrounding the guys, in the receiving room. And obviously he's got, compatibility and comfortability with Travis Kelce. So we know that there's something there. And, CEH for the 10 or 12 games you're going to have him, 10 to 14 games you're going to have him. There's that. But it is a little concerning this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a down year, but a down year by Patrick Mahomes standards is still a great year by literally half of the quarterbacks in this league, probably even more than that. So I don't think it's a dramatic down year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. There's a few less yards, maybe a few fewer touchdowns, but I'm not so certain that it's like, he will still finish top 5, but it may not just be as great of a year as what we saw last year.
So I'm looking at this, and I think Patrick Mahomes actually has more yards than he did last year and more touchdowns than he did last year as well. Simply from the standpoint that I think Andy Reid went back to the drawing board a little bit this offseason, and you will see them cook up some things that are different than what we've seen there. Because last year they kind of got figured out a little bit, as was already said. I think Kevin said it with the shell game and the cover 2 that they were playing heavily on that. I think that you'll see Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy have kind of reworked this offense a little bit, and see a bunch of new different wrinkles. The fact that they've got some different personnel there. I think that you see Patrick Mahomes spread the ball around more than what you've seen in the past, to the point where it was very easy in the past when you look at this Chiefs team, because you could pencil Travis Kelce in for anywhere between 22 and 25% of the target share, Tyreek between 22 and 25% of the target share, and then the other 6 or 7 guys just kind of got sprinkled in there, right? Like this year I see a much more distributed target share. So it's this is one of those that you're going to have addition by subtraction. I do believe